And we are live on Facebook as well. Terrific. No Town and Country. Hi, thanks for joining. Good morning. Hi. As usual, you guys, we give a few minutes for everybody to join in. As a reminder, you know, we go live at 10 o'clock, but sometimes people are a little late. So we just give a few minutes, and happy fall, y'all. I'm sure you're tired of hearing that. And I'm happy to be back. I haven't been here for a while. Kelsey's been doing the Coffee Talk Tuesdays, and I'm super happy to be back. So we're going to talk about hashtags today. I know it's a little redundant, but we do get a lot of questions about it. So I'm going to have a couple sips. Beth, hey, good morning, Beth. Thanks for joining in. Happy Tuesday. Happy Coffee Talk Tuesday, guys. We are going to talk about hashtags today. I know it's easy, but we'll give you some tips and tricks and some reminders because I actually learned something in doing my research for today's Coffee Talk Tuesday that we are not doing, and we're bad about it, so we're going to change that. I hope everybody's having a really nice fall. We've had incredible weather here on the east end of Long Island. It's been absolutely gorgeous. Traffic is terrible on the weekends, but we're not complaining, right? Because we like it for our farmers. We just don't move on the weekends, and we do everything during the week. So everybody grab your coffee, okay? We've given it a couple minutes here. And we're going to talk about mastering the hashtags for Instagram. We're going to talk about their platforms and how many you can use on the platforms and how to make your life easier with these hashtags. Okay. That's right. No Town and Country. We don't leave our house on the weekends either, unless it's by boat. Then we'll go out by boat. And I know you're a boater also, so I know you go out by boat. Okay, so let's start, okay? Because everybody's busy and we got things to do. So talking about hashtags for Instagram. So a lot of people ask us, you know, should we be using them? Shouldn't we be using them? How many should we use? Well, Instagram kind of makes it easy for you because they limit the number of hashtags you're allowed to use on each one of their platforms. And when I say their platforms, I'm talking about stories and IGTV and posting live, things like that, right? So they limit how many you're allowed to use. So, and then people also ask, should we put them at the bottom after all of our copy? Should we put them in the comment? You know what? I'm not quite sure. Some people think if you put it in the comment, then it shows that you have engagement. I don't really know if that makes a difference. I'm not quite sure. I know if you get a lot of engagement on your post, it's going to raise you. So that's the most important, is to make your posts, you know, good, so that people want to look at them and they want to engage with them and you're going to be responding to them. That's the most important thing to do. So when you're using hashtags, we're first going to talk about a post, okay? When you create your post, and you should be creating something that's eye-catching and thumb-stopping and something that people really want to look at. People used to put like short stories or like short copy under their posts. And now you're probably noticing that they're actually putting a lot longer. You know, they put like a whole story below them and people are reading it. They like it. Like if it's a good post, you can put a lot of copy underneath and people will read it. I mean, Sue B. Zimmerman, who's the Instagram expert, we love her. And I will read everything underneath her post because it's engaging. And I know that I'm going to get good information from it. So what you want to do is after you've made your copy, then you want to use all those space holders, right? Like the periods or the ... And then you're going to put your hashtags. On a post, you're only allowed to put 30 hashtags. And why not all 30? We use all 30 because we want people to find our posts. And what we do is to make our life easier, because we really try to post every single day on Instagram, and it's a lot of work, but we really try to do it, is we create a list. And I use notes. I'm not quite sure what Kelsey uses for hers, but I use notes. And I categorize all of my hashtags. And I categorize my hashtags under my most common posts that I'm going to use, right? So for us, our most common are going to be digital marketing, social media, small business, women-owned business, things like that. So I categorize under my notes, and I categorize, so say it's going to be digital marketing, and I'm going to have my 10 most common hashtags under digital marketing. And then all I have to do is copy and paste right onto my post. And then what I'll do is the next 10 or 15, I'll add whatever is appropriate for that post. So say like it's Coffee Talk Tuesday. So I'll put, after I've put, copy and pasted my most common 10 or 15 for my digital marketing, I'll then put my next 10 or 15, I'll put 15 definitely, because we like to use all 30, hashtag Coffee Talk Tuesday, hashtags, hashtag Instagram, hashtag mastering Instagram, things like that. And I'm going to fill it up to 30. I don't usually make it in the comments. I just use it below. I haven't seen a major difference in that. It's really all about your post. Like we did a post about National Lobster Roll Day, and oh my God, we got so much engagement. I think we got 33 comments on that. Just goes to show people on the East End love their lobster rolls out here, right? So that was a really good one. Okay, next we're going to talk about stories. And all right, so Rashad said, what have you heard about using the same hashtags 2 days in a row? I hear it puts you insta jail. Okay, so actually, I was listening to Subi last night, and she said that regarding your, that's a really great question, Rashad. So Rashad asked about using the same hashtags 2 days in a row. What she said about that was to change up your hashtags every once in a while. So I think it's okay to use those basic 10 or 15 hashtags that you would for, like, say, digital marketing, but then you're going to add in whatever is appropriate for that post. So you're not copying and pasting 30 of the same hashtags every single post. So you are changing it up by adding different hashtags that are appropriate for that post. And she did say something about that, like Instagram will eventually kind of see that it could be spammy, that you're using the same hashtags over and over again. So use ones that are appropriate for you, but then put some in that are appropriate for that post, because the next post you're going to make isn't going to be the same exact post. Like for you and your clothing line, you may put a post about your sneakers, but then the next day it's going to be about your backpack. So you're going to start to put some hashtags about your backpacks, and I think you'll be safe that way. But that's what Subi said. So that's a great question, Rashad. Thank you, and I hope I answered your question. So next we're going to talk about stories, and in stories you can have up to 11 hashtags in your stories. Okay, so on your post you can have up to 30. In your stories you can have up to 11. And why not, right? Because people are going to search hashtags. So use hashtags wherever you can. Now, what Subi does, and I think this is super clever, and we've taken this from her, is she likes to hide her hashtags within her story so it doesn't take away from the integrity of her post, of her story. And the way that she does this is two ways. She will make her hashtags, she will shrink them super, super tiny, and then she'll hide them either behind a GIF or like wording that she's put on there or something like that. So you don't see, the hashtags, right? So she hides them behind something on there. Or even more clever, she will take the hashtags, she'll shrink them, then she'll take her ink dropper, she'll make it the same color as a background, and then slide the hashtags into the background, and then you don't see them because they're hidden in the same color as the background, which is super clever as well. So that's two ways to hide your 11 hashtags on your stories, either behind something or make them the same color as the background. This way you get your hashtags in there and you don't take away from the integrity of your post. All right, that's stories. The next we're going to talk about is IGTV. And I don't know how many of you are using IGTV, but we do. And this is where I found that we're not using our hashtags enough. So on IGTV, you can use up to 30 hashtags, just like a regular post. And why not, right? Because people are going to search not Nofo Town and Country, I'll take credit for your questions because it was a great one. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that Nofo? I'm so sorry, Nofo. I'm really sorry about that. I thought that was Rashad. My mistake, my mistake. Nofo Town and Country. That was your question, and that was a great question. And I know you are a super great digital marketer. So I want to give you credit for that. So sorry about that, Tracy. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to IGTV. IGTV, you can use up to 30 hashtags as well. Now, we're not using them because I checked our IGTV last night. So after we do our Coffee Talk Tuesdays, we repurpose everything, right? Because we tell you guys, repurpose your content all the time. So we repurpose our content. We repurpose our Coffee Talk Tuesdays onto Facebook. It'll be on our Instagram for stories for 24 hours. And we will also put it onto our YouTube and our IGTV. We cut it, we cut ours down. Well, IGTV stories can be up to 10 minutes. And usually we have to cut our Coffee Talk Tuesdays, and we cut ours down to 10 minutes, and then we put them on there and we repurpose. But we haven't been using hashtags. And I noticed that because I went and looked. So after you write your copy for your IGTV, you can use all your spaces, your space holders, your ... and then use your 30 hashtags. And why not? Because people are going to search you and they just may find your IGTV story, okay? So for your regular post, you get 30 hashtags. For your stories, you get 11. For your IGTV, you get 30, okay? Hi, Jenny, thanks for joining. Gina, so are you using 2 cameras right now to repurpose the video? I am. So right now I am on, I have my computer and I'm using something called BeLive, which we pay for, and we can get split screens for that. And we can get up to 4 screens for that. And we love BeLive. And then I'm also using my, my iPhone. And so I'm recording on my iPhone, then I'll save it, right? And then we will repurpose it. I save my, what am I trying to say? I'll save my live, and it'll go on stories, and then we'll repurpose it for IGTV. I hope I answered that correctly. I was like a little crazy. So yes, I'm using 2 cameras right now. All right, so I covered posts, I covered stories, and I covered IGTV. The last thing I want to talk about hashtags is, because we do this, is when we have an event, we do create our own personal hashtag for that event. So if we hold a class, like if Miller Business Institute Center asks us to hold a class, or we hold one for ourselves, we always create our own hashtag for that class. And the reason we do this is because we want to be able to follow it, right? We want to see how many people in that class are going to be using it, writing comments, sharing it, and this way we can track it. And what we do is we create a hashtag, we check to make sure nobody else is using that hashtag, because you don't want to find out that your hashtag is being used by something else, on Instagram that's inappropriate, and all of a sudden, your class or your event is mixed in with a super inappropriate event. So most of the time ours are, SMG 2019, a Miller Business Center, nobody's going to use that hashtag, but we'll put it on every one of our slides, any of the paraphernalia that we hand out, and we remind our clients or our guests at our event to use that hashtag whenever they're going to be posting on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram about the class. And this way you can track it. So that's a great thing to do. If you're going to host an event or do something for your company, be sure to create your own hashtag for that, okay? This way you can track it. So the last thing I want to say is just remember, so we went over how many hashtags you can use, why not you should be using them, because you should be. Mix them up, because Nofo Town and Country had a really good point. Mix them up and make sure you're using the 10 or 15 that you always use, but then 15 more that are appropriate for that post, so you don't have redundancy. And also be sure to use them, like categorize them like I do in notes, okay? I do them by digital marketing, and then I have my 15 for digital marketing. Small business, and then I have my 15 for small business. women-owned business, and then I have my 15 for women-owned business. And then all I'm doing is copying and pasting. It is saving me tremendous time, and it's just making your life easier. And then you can add your 15 that are appropriate, or if it's stories, you know, your 6 or whatever that are appropriate for that post. Okay? I hope this was super helpful for you guys. I want to look at my notes and make sure that I didn't forget anything, which I didn't. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Stark Media Group NY. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today, this morning. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great Tuesday. Be sure to come in next week and send in any questions that you have. We're super happy to answer anything. Or if you have any topics that you want answered, you know, we're always happy to learn as well. So have a great Tuesday. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you next week. And thanks for the great questions. We really appreciate it. Bye-bye.